Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Quilting Business Success, everybody. And today we have Kathy Kenzy with us from, is South Dakota or North Dakota?
South Dakota.
Okay. Did you used to be in North Dakota? Was that it?
Yes,
Okay.
North Dakota. Yeah.
I got you. So, yeah, Kathy's going to be joining us, and we're glad to have you all here. As those of you, if you have not watched the podcast before, it's a podcast where we interview people who are on this journey that many people watching this are either thinking about getting on or maybe are in the beginning stages of it. And you want to get a little bit of feedback from somebody who's maybe gone on the path before you. I do want to say, for those who are watching live, you do have the ability to submit questions in live time as we talk to Kathy. And if you do, I'm going to try to keep my eyes on the bottom of the screen and see if a question pops up, and we'll work that into the conversation too. But yeah, we're going to start out by talking to Kathy. Kathy Kenzy, thanks for being with us. We're really glad to have you today.
Glad to be here.
So tell us about this South Dakota, North Dakota journey that you were starting to tell me about. How do you are you like a native northerner, or tell us about that?
Yes, I grew up in North Dakota, in a little town called Walhalla, which is 5 miles from the Canadian border, 32 miles from Minnesota. I moved to South Dakota in, let's see, 1980, about.
1980.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was too young to move at that point. So. No, so Kathy, how long have you been a two-part question? How long have you been quilting? How long have you been long arming? Or is it both the
I've been
same?
quilting since 1981. I made a baby quilt for my oldest son when I was pregnant, and I did that on my domestic machine, which I didn't even know was a domestic machine at that time.
A lot of
But
people watching have done that, I guarantee
you. I bought my first kind of a machine. It was a Quinique, and it was a 15R mid-arm. And I bought that on January 15th, 2018. And I sold it in June of 2019, just after I purchased my Elevate from Gammill.
Okay. So 2019, you got an Elevate from Gammill, and was that a new machine?
Yes, brand new.
Okay.
The 12-foot table.
Okay. So what made you decide to start long arming? You had the mid arm is just on the table, right?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how did you get that idea in your head that you wanted to get to an actual long arm machine?
Holly Zuber.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She had a quilt shop in Pierre, and I frequented it a lot. And I took a quilt in there to have done for my youngest son. And it was like, oh, I could do that. So that's what, I went to Italy in 2019. And when I came back, my girlfriend, I talked to her because I had been to the Quilting with Confidence, and she thought I should buy one. And I said, yeah. So, and they thought Greg, my husband, should help me buy one. And he
Okay,
did, and he did. And
okay.
so that's when I started, 2019.
So did Greg take any, did it take any prodding to get Greg to go along with this?
I was surprised. Yep, nope. He said, if that's what you want to do, we'll do it.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
well, it's just the friend thought that Greg should help. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's a story behind there or not. So
Ah,
that's good. So you've had Greg on board from the get-go. That's good.
right, yep. Hmm.
Excellent, excellent.
Yep.
Um, so when when you first got your long arm, did you get it specifically to do a business, or was it personal use, fabric obsession?
Well, I established my business in 2008. I did alterations and all kinds of things, all sewing related. And I just thought, well, if I'm going to buy a machine, I can use it for the business and then have it for myself too. So that's what I did.
Okay. And
Added it.
has it turned out that way where you kind of using it for on both, or you stay
Yep, both.
mostly with business or what?
Um, it's well, with the new machine, mostly it's like I'm learning again. So I've just been um doing quilts for family, and they don't mind if I make mistakes, or they're just happy to get a quilt. So yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. They're more
Hmm.
forgiving.
Yep, more forgiving. Yep.
So, did you shop around, or how did you land on Gammill?
Holly, because she
Holly,
had it in her shop.
that might be the answer to a few questions in this thing. Holly,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
she loves Gammels. She sure
Yep.
does.
She does. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and you started out with an Elevate, you say?
Right. Yep.
And do you still have the same one today, or what's
No,
that
I
situation?
don't. I traded that in when they had the big discounts back in September. And this time I went all the way in and got the Statler Ascend,
You got the
which
Ascend.
yes,
Yes, top of the line.
you're right. Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
yeah, you like that Ascend, it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Um, what's uh what's so great about the Ascend?
The precision, how fast it is. I mean, the time it takes to do a quilt, even if you do edge to edge, I mean, it's like a third of what you're doing when on my Elevate. So it's well worth it.
Gotcha. And did you got a brand new Ascend?
Yep. Hmm.
And do you get don't they give you some free training with that?
Yep. Hmm.
And the new owner
And
training. Yeah,
right.
tell us about that. Has that been a benefit to you?
Yes, it really has. They didn't have it back when I had my Elevate, but I learned a lot in Creative Studio, the standalone mode for that. But now with
Mhm.
this, I mean, everything's right there. You're not having to go from one standalone to the computer, so
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Well, and yeah, and the reason I was kind of asking you, I kind of knew the answer, but I in tech support, I'm talking to people all the time where when it comes down to it, the issue they were having is they didn't know how to operate something. And so yeah, I would encourage anyone who has a Gamble who's watching this to if you don't have it, to invest in the new owner training that you can find
Mhm.
on gamble.com,
Yeah,
because pretty much any basic question you have, you can find on there. There's hours of videos with the Gamble educators have made, and it's top notch. It just goes through everything.
yeah, it is.
Anyway, I'm not trying to make this a commercial. I happen to think that, because this podcast that we do is for the purpose of people, mostly people who are starting businesses or thinking about, following some of the path that you have already started following. And one of the key ingredients in that is just having the know-how, and that new
Mhm,
owner training helps with that. So,
definitely.
all right, Kathy. So you now have the Ascend, and so when you first started your doing a business, did you say you started the actual business part in '08? Was that what you
Uh,
said?
yeah, my original business. Yeah.
Okay. And
Was,
were you doing quilting with that business?
no, I wasn't. I was
Or
doing
darning or
alterations and
quilting?
yeah.
Okay. If I would listen better, I'd know these things. So, um, so how are you doing right now? As far as customers, do you see a lot? Are there a lot of customers out there? What's your feel about that?
Um, Mostly I've been concentrating on learning how to use the Ascend. And so I haven't really,
Okay.
I've just finished a custom t-shirt quilt that shipped to Florida yesterday. And I'm starting
Wow.
a would be a wedding anniversary quilt for a couple that have been married for 10 years. But it is fun. It's different
Okay.
and yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
did a lot of
So,
quilts before Christmas for family members just to practice, and they let me get away with some mistakes, and which was great. But yeah, it's kind of slowed down, but it was more me wanting it to slow down so that I could learn how to use the Ascend and feel comfortable using it.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So you're in the process of kind of learning, especially the Ascend. There's that Ascend can do a lot in the
it
creative
can. Yeah.
studio. So yeah, that's a smart thing to do. Um, how'd you come up with the funds to buy your Elevate and then the Ascend?
The first one, Greg put in some, I put in some, and the rest we financed.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
And how long did it take you to get that or paid off? Have you
Oh,
gotten that paid off? Are you still working on that or what?
no, yeah, the Ascend was paid off in April of 2021. So 22 months to pay it
Okay,
off. Hmm.
all
Yeah,
righty. And the reason, I'm not trying to be nosy when I ask you that stuff. It's for the benefit of the people who are watching. They want to. This is all the things that go through their minds, the questions that they
hmm.
have. So are you currently doing any advertising or anything, or are you not so much
Um,
working on building customer
mm,
base yet, or
I
what?
have a Facebook account. I'm out on Google.
Okay.
Um, Not really doing any, it's more word of mouth than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
Holly's good to get things coming to me.
word of mouth
Um,
and Holly, they just go
yeah.
right together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and just people, especially now with a lot of family having quilts, they've helped too. So,
Okay. And are you doing anything right now aside from the quilting, or is this what you're doing um
no,
exclusively?
I squeezed in alterations, zippers, prom's coming up, so there'll be prom dresses to alter, and there's always someone that's got something, and all of that is word of mouth, comes from other people. So sometimes it's some pretty strange stuff, but it works.
There you go. Whatever it takes to grow the
Right.
business.
Yep.
And the vast majority, probably it's gotta be 99% of the people I talk to, they always say word of mouth is their
Mm-hmm.
primary
Yeah.
mode of spreading the word. So, about how many hours a week would you say that you spend quilting for other people these days?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done 4 quilts since January, and they were all customs.
Okay.
So, and I don't like to hold on to quilts for longer than a week. So it kind of works out good doing it that way. Um, and most of them got shipped out of state. So
So where are you getting these out of state? Is that from Holly too?
no, we have a lot of family out of state
Mm,
and have Greg's daughter has um, her husband's parents wanted quilts, and then it goes to somebody else and they find out, and yeah, that's how it's worked. Word of mouth, especially relatives.
Um, so are you connected to a local quilt shop or anything like that right now?
Not really, no. She has my cards at the quilt yard in Pier. Um, I have left my cards there.
Okay.
No.
And I just had a question by Sue that said, do you find, I don't know if it's directed to me or to you, that do you find that quilters can have success in long arm business without being connected to a local quilt shop? Um, I will
Mm,
say from my point of view, most of the people that we talk to on this podcast, they are connected to a quilt shop, you know.
mhm.
Um, and there's something about that it's like a point of contact for people looking to have quilts done, people to do quilts. Do you know if there is are there quilt shops in your area or
Um,
or not so much?
there's only the one in Pier. Um, the rest are like, we were just in Mitchell, South Dakota last week, and there was a quilt shop there that I went to first time. And I left my card there too, if anyone needed quilting or alterations or
Mhm.
whatever. And then most of them are probably at least 100 miles away.
So the place where you live right now, is it more rural or urban?
Um, we're right across the river from the state capital of Pierre.
Okay, okay.
So, and our town is about 2,300. And I think Piers is over 21,000. So,
Okay, okay. I bet you in that bigger city, I bet I'd be willing to bet there's a lot of quilt shops over there. And
no, there isn't. I
oh,
wish there
really?
was. Yeah.
Well, the people that I've talked to, um, if they're able to, if there is a quilt shop, um, leaving your card there is good. It's also
Mhm.
good if you can kind of get to know those people there a little bit. And
Yeah.
yeah, when you talk about the word of mouth and being able to grow a business that way, I think um, building connections and relationships with people, that's probably a big part of it too.
Yeah.
So, you know, as you go on, you're kind of in the beginning phases of it. And yeah, I think that as time goes on, you'll probably find that to be true also.
Yeah.
Yeah, building those connections.
And I even know the people that come to bring alterations, they see the long arm when they come in, and it's like, oh, you quilt? So, that gets around too. So,
Yeah, yeah,
mm,
excellent. Yeah, when they see that bad boy there, that, that ascend. So
They'll even bring their husband so their husband can see it. It's like, what are
you know
you
what?
doing?
That's the thing. When I've gone to shows and things, to Gammill shows, one thing that I've seen about that sets the Gammill apart, and this is the absolute truth, is the guys tend to like the Gammill more than any of the other quilt. The other quilting
Oh,
machines, they just they don't have that
right.
strong, tough look. You know, you can
Yeah,
tell that it's a strong. Even
exactly.
though it's got finesse to it, you can move it with two fingers easily. But
Right.
yeah, it's a tough machine. So, um, so Kathy, do you right now do you do mostly edge to edge, or are you doing both edge to edge and custom?
Mostly edge to edge since I got the new Ascend. When I had the Elevate, I did custom, you know, and edge to edge. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have it set up to, do you know how much do you charge? How do you charge? Do you charge by the square inch, or how does
When
that
I
work?
s- when I started on the Elevate, I was charging 2 cents a square inch, and then now I'm up to, let's see, where's the number? I'm up to, on the custom ones, I do hourly rate. And then on the edge to edge, I do between 0.025 and 0.03, depending on how big it is, how long it
Mhm.
takes me.
Yeah, each quilt is, no two quilts are the same.
No, they aren't.
So
No.
that's good. So you don't always hard and fast stick to the exact same per square inch price. You kind of
No.
check it
But
out.
yeah, usually they'll let me know, I only want this, and this is what I can spend, and okay, we'll make it work.
Okay, okay.
Because it's mostly about the customer. I want them
Yeah,
to come back, so yeah.
yeah, definitely. And you work your business is out of your house, or do you
No,
have a
it's in my
separate shop?
home. It's in my
Okay.
house. Yep.
Do you sell supplies like batting, wide back fabrics, or anything like that?
I do have batting. I know some people request that I buy, that they, if they're sent, because I have customers that send them to me, and they'll say, will you pick out the backing for me? And so there's the quilt shops, and Hobby Lobby is always there, so that
Yeah,
helps.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And do you do any I'm thinking you might do some of this as services like binding,
Yep.
piecing, backings, and you mentioned a t-shirt quilt at one point.
Yep. T-shirt quilts, yeah, wedding, memory, uh, anniversary, whatever they want.
Okay. And oh, Grace is asking again, what do you say the hourly rate for custom work?
I charge $30 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I wanted to ask you about that t-shirt quilt. Did you find that super hard, or what was it? Let me just get your impression of the t-shirt quilt.
It was it was fine. I mean, I've been doing other ones, so this was the first one for this year. It was actually
Okay.
for a granddaughter, and she had all these swimming t-shirts from when she was a little girl all the way up, and her mother wanted me to make a t-shirt quilt for her. So that's what I
Okay,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the majority of people I talk to in tech support about t-shirt quilts, I'm always people say it's a living hell making a t-shirt quilt. So I take it that's not your impression. So
No, no.
you know, I might. the people I talk to, it might be a little prejudice on that one side, because the ones that I talk to are people that are having trouble with something, and they may just hate t-shirt quilts because that's what they're having trouble with at the moment.
No, could be.
So, all right, now growing business, what would you say is the hardest part of trying to grow a business?
Growing a business. Let's see.
Or have you encountered anything that's been like really difficult for you, or has been a kind of hard for you to
Um,
in this path?
I've noticed in the last couple of years, there's more people that don't do alterations anymore. They've just decided not to do it. And so I have a lady from Pierre, and she gladly hands out my name when people ask her, you know, if I will do this for her, and so
Okay.
that's helped a lot. That's really increased it. Less people doing it, so yeah.
Okay.
And then the guys in the zippers, they don't want to buy a new coat, they want a new zipper. So I'm pretty good at that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I've been
Yeah.
there. I'm one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a good coat. It's just the zipper doesn't work.
Right. Yep.
I have another question here, Kathy. Concerning, they're going back to this custom. On the custom by the hour, do you charge for your design time also?
It depends, because I know a couple of the quilts I've done, they've just she's brought it in and she's brought the fabric, everything is ready to go, and then she's got the pattern. And so I just go off the pattern, and yeah, for her, that one I did. I charged by the block, I think, for that. So, and she was happy with it, and yeah, worked
Okay.
out fine. And actually, I did 2 quilts for her in a row. So,
Okay. Okay. Um, let's see. I have another question here. Hold on. I need to have a mouse with it. I'm on the laptop tonight. Um, everyone talks about their quilts that turn out great. What do you do if you have a fabric that bleeds or their seams are short? Do you have to rip stitches due to tension issues or other complications? Have you had to deal with that, or you have an answer
well,
for any of it?
yeah, I mean, that things happen, you know. If it doesn't work, you rip it out, you do it again, and that's on me. So, I don't usually charge for that. I'll stop and, okay, I got to do this over, but I'm not going to charge you because it's my fault. And so I've never had anyone complain, that they weren't satisfied with the quilts they got, or even the alterations or anything I do.
So you basically do the best you can, and
Hmm.
if something happens that is not optimal, you'll deal with it the best you can while you're making the quilt and
Right.
talk to the customer about it, huh?
Yeah. And then usually when they come to pick up the quilts, we go through it, and I'll tell them, this is what I did. And so they understand what happened, and that it was fixed, and they're happy with it. So
Do you
that's the main thing.
you tend to take some one-on-one time with the customers when like when they come to get their quilt and maybe when they drop it off too?
Yeah. Mostly it's probably before, because they want to know what designs I have, and um if I don't have it, I'll go look for what they want, and we just go from there. I do a lot of texting, taking pictures and sending them of designs, and because they don't want to come back, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to see that. So
Right, right. So you stay in communication with them even
Right.
after they
Yep.
drop it in.
And usually during the process of when I'm doing the quilt, I'll send pictures, by text and let them know this is how it's turning out. And yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
And I know I've done some quilts for veterans, and the lady wanted um, embroidery on the quilt too. And I have a 16 needle embroidery machine that I can do that on. And so that made a difference for her. So,
okay.
well,
Well, the next question I have for you kind of goes along with a question that we have from a person that's submitting a question right now also. My question is going to be, what is a change in technology that makes it easier today than it was before with quilting? And you have the Ascend.
mhm.
But this person is asking a question. I have not purchased a long arm yet. What would be the main reason that somebody should buy a Gammill instead of another company's machine? Like I said, I'm not trying to make this into a commercial, but they asked the question. Um, what do you like about the Gammill, and what could you say to that person?
I like the industrial part of it. Um, the one
What
that
do you
I
mean by
started.
industrial?
Well, it's heavy duty, you know.
Mhm.
It's not flimsy like some of them are. The first one I had, the Quinique, it it was just, I don't know, it was plastic, and yeah, it just, I didn't like it. I didn't like quilting on it, and it was the freehand stuff. It wasn't, there was no patterns or anything like that. So,
And have you ever had an opportunity to just try out any other long arms?
oh, not other long arms, but in 2019, I went to the Quilting with Confidence, and I was, they were, you could go on and you could play with the machines and stuff. And that kind, I mean, it followed you and you followed it, and it was so smooth, and it was just like, well, this is the one.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
works so much better.
Heavy duty, and yet it's
Mhm.
got the finesse.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I would tell this person and anybody that's watching the Quilting with Confidence, man, the people that I have talked to that have gone to Quilting with Confidence, they cannot say enough good stuff about it.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to get your hands on a Gammill, which is the top of the line machine out
Right.
there, and also to talk to a lot of people.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, so I'm with you. Everything you said, I bear witness with.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're still pouring in questions. Hold on. Next time I've got to remember to bring a mouse with me. All right. All right. Uh, and this person said, it sounds like you make quilts for your customers instead of them bringing you their quilts that they have pieced themselves. Is that,
No, I do ones they've pieced too.
so you
Yeah.
do both?
I do both.
Okay, okay,
I never say no.
okay. Well, sometimes it's probably beneficial to be able to say no, but that's for another show. But yeah, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Um, okay, Kathy, I want to ask you, who's been your biggest cheerleader or support system
Besides Holly,
besides Holly? Yeah, yeah,
that would
besides Holly.
be that would be my husband.
I knew it was
Um,
going to be Greg. I knew he was going to come up again.
yep. Um, my sons, family members. It all takes a village.
Okay, okay. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So, and is this quilting thing, is this something that you feel gives you a lot of control of your time and your schedule and everything?
Yeah, more so since I retired. Yeah, I'm doing more quilting than I was when I was working full time. Um,
How long have you been retired, if I may ask?
I retired in May of 22.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So you're able to put your time into the quilting when you want to.
Yep, I've come down here at 3 o'clock in the morning and quilted.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. I mean, you might have
Because it's quiet
an
and there's
addiction.
nobody around.
Yeah. Do you find it to be therapeutic?
Yes,
Excellent.
absolutely. Well,
Um, can you think of anything that you wish somebody would have told you when you started this that you may not have known?
well, somebody did tell me. Greg told me, buy the Statler, buy the best. And he kept telling me that, and I ended up with Elevate, and which was great. I mean, for starting out, but if I had to do it over, I'd buy the top of the line, the Ascend. Yeah,
So, and while the Elevate is a good machine,
it is. Yeah,
doesn't have quite the capability of what you're able to do with the both what you're able to do and how efficiently you're able to get it done
yeah,
with Elevate.
definitely. Less time on the rack.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, and on that note, I think that's a great note to start to wrap up on. Um, do you think you have any piece of advice that you could give to somebody who is thinking about starting out on a quilting business journey, long arming? Um, do you think it's something that's possible to do in this day and age? What would you say to somebody who would come to you for advice about that?
Um, uh,
Do you
just
think it's
do it.
doable?
Just do it. Yeah. There's always people out there that need a quilter.
Okay. Well, Kathy, I thank you very much for joining us. It's been inspiring to listen to you. I do want to. Would you like to share like your Facebook page or any how anybody might be able to get in contact with you?
Yep. It's Kenzy Kreations, creations with a K, at gmail.com.
Okay, Kenzy Kreations, Kenzy, right?
Right? And creations is Kreations at Gmail.
Okay, all
Mhm.
right. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, anybody that has any more questions for Kathy and you'd like to get in touch with her, just get a hold of her at that information that she gave you. And until next time, we're going to say goodbye to Kathy and goodbye to all the rest of you out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.